Yep. Mm-hmm.
早くしろよ。どうしよう。夢マジやべえ。頑張れ。
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mimi, and today I'm going to be reacting to Classroom of the Elite, episode 10. Every man has in himself the most dangerous traitor of all. You know what? I feel like I need to be, as I watch the episode, reread the title and try to see like what's the connection between what happened in the episode and the title itself. Because I feel like I read the title and then I watch the episode and I never think about it again. But I feel like there must be some kind of correlation between the title and what's happening in the episode, right? I don't know, but I never take the time to try to figure it out. But yeah. So last episode they started the survival test, right? They had a certain amount of points that they are able to spend, but if they keep a certain amount back at the end of everything, they're gonna add it to their whole class thing, and then they chose a leader. You're not supposed to let the other team know who's the leader. And I was confused a little bit when I was watching the episode about how that whole system thing worked, and I'm like, when I'm editing that reaction, I would like take the more time, I guess, to fully understand what they were talking about, especially when it came to the leader thing. And it's just that at the end of the test, they're gonna you get to point out to each team and say, okay, this team's leader is this person, and this team's leader is this person. And if you get it right, then they're gonna add how many? I think it was 50 points to your whole team thing. But if you get it wrong, then they're gonna deduct the 50 points. So yeah, if you think you know who the leader is, you better be right about it. And I still believe that, I believe his name is Kasuragi. I still believe that he's not the leader. He's trying to make you think he's the leader, but he's not the leader. Especially when he showed up out of the cave with the card in hand, and I'm like, why are you just like showing it? You don't know who's watching. So in my view, it's some kind of distraction to make you believe, that's what it is, but it isn't, actually isn't. And then I thought at one point that the machine that you're supposed to use the card to say, okay, this is my spot, the machine doesn't actually display the name of the leader on it. It just says this is class A, this is class B, this is class C. So yes, he had the card in his hand and he used it to do it, but that doesn't mean that he's the leader. The leader could have given him the card and then he just goes there and then does the thing and then make other people believe that he's the leader, like there's something fishy going on with Kasuragi, especially when him and Ryuen, they sort of like had some kind of understanding. I don't know what that was about, but okay. And then when it came to class D itself, Koenji, they were like, okay, they made all kinds of calculations and they were like, we need to keep this amount of points, by the end of it, and all the calculations were sound and everything. But then Koenji defected back to the boat, and the amount of points that they were supposed to be keeping by the end of it, after spending whatever they needed to spend during that whole trip, it's the same amount of points that they needed to keep that they are gonna deduct from them because Koenji defected. And I'm like, yeah. Is he a traitor? I don't know. Is he trying to? I don't know, but he must have some kind of plan. Because I didn't actually notice it before, but a comment on a previous reaction mentioned it, that during the episode where they were, I believe it was the one before the other one, where they were on the boat, and then you have Ichinose and the teacher in a massage room kind of thing, and then they were discussing which students from class D to be looking out for. They mentioned Koenji, and I completely missed it. So the fact that he did this at the end of last episode, I'm like, no, you cannot be trusted. So yeah, that's what happened last episode. Sorry if I talk too long, but I feel like I needed to explain some things. So before we get into this particular episode, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/feeling. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review. Okay. Is that German? And Okoji as a kid or younger? Is this the guy that wants him to be
よく覚えておけ。力を持っていながらそれを使わないのは愚か者のすることだ。
to have power and to not use it is the behavior of a fool? Why did the first of all, whoever that person was, walk through everybody else and just go straight to him? Clearly, Kiyotaka. I don't remember that name of his. I know Koji's the one that I know. Clearly, he has a particular interest in him, right? And then you have the previous episode where the teacher said that someone tried to have him expelled. I'm assuming that's this person right here. And when you look at the scene, they are clearly having some kind of exam, and it's clearly related to math. You see all the other people around Kiyotaka sweating a little bit, but he's just calm, cool, and collected, like this is like nothing to him. So this kind of thing just makes me like even believe that this guy is like extremely intelligent, and he's just playing it like. So it makes me even more excited to see all the things that he can do, you know. He's just there analyzing everyone. I feel like he's in his input phase, so he just inputs all the data in his mind. What is he trying to do? I noticed it when she came onto the boat, and like before they told them about the test and everything, when she came in, she was rubbing her arm, and I feel like that dude did something to her before she showed up on the boat, because she was I think a little late or something. Is she the leader of that class? Class C? He had a problem with Class C and got driven out. And then he came to B. Right? And then you have the girl that got beat up. She's also from Class C. And then she's in now in Class D's camp. They're all planes. They straight out said it. We came to scout you out. Yeah, that's because we've occupied it.
をしてるのはそっちじゃないかしら。
何をしている？
桂木さん。
なら遠慮せず見ればいい。だが覚悟はしておくことだ。一つの占有スポットを一つのクラスに。
Oh my gosh, his chin.
この暗黙のルールに踏み込めば戦争が起きるぞ。
I sort of missed it, what he said. They're having a party. Oh my goodness. These people.
龍雲さんが呼んでます。
よ
トップが無能だと下の人間がかわいそうね。
石崎。
はい。
ぬるい。100だか200だかのクラスポイントのためにお前らは上に耐え、暑さと虚しさに耐えるのか。
警戒してここに来た私がバカだったわ。
バカはどっちだ？俺か？お前か？これが俺のやり方だ。これ以上もこれ以下も存在しない。
そう。なら好きにするのね。要件がもう一つあったわ。あなた、伊吹さんを知っているわね。
うちのクラスの人間だ。
あれはどういうこと？
支配者の命令に背く手下はいらねえ。軽く制裁を加えてやったのさ。
あなた、初日で全てのポイントを使ったのね。
そういうことだ。伊吹がどうなろうとポイントを引かれる心配はないってことだ。
せっかくのクラスポイントを無駄にするなんて。
んなことより俺と遊ばねえか。専用のテントぐらい用意するぜ。鈴音、遊びたくなったらいつでも来いよ。その時は最高な気分を味わわせてやるよ。
He did something to her.
あいつは花から1週間なんて見ていないんだ。
どういうこと？
簡単な話。高円寺がしたようにするだけだ。
最初から試験そのものを放棄しているってこと？
この試験は文字通り自由だ。龍炎の考え方も正解の一つだろうな。ゼロポイント作戦か。面白いな。
What is that? Is that the leader card? What was that?
大変だな、クラスのまとめ役も。
クラスのみんなが幸せでいてくれれば、それだけで満足なんだ。
I'm suspicious of everybody.
俺なんかとペアでよかったのか？
ごめんね。
さくらが困るんじゃないか？
そんなの全然気にしないよ。それに来てよかったと思ってる。
そうか。
残念だな。
Do you have the camera?
あったら最高の一枚が撮れそうだったのに。
ありゃ、もう全然人がいないね。
綾野浩二、お前も偵察か？
いや、
私たちには地道な戦略が一番だよね。
一ノ瀬、一つ聞きたいことがあるんだが。
何？今回は坂柳さんが試験を休んでるから、
Okay.
桂木くんが A クラスを取り仕切ってるみたいだけど。
桂木は頭の切れる男だ。
What did she notice?
あの二人は両極端なタイプだから。
両極端。
革新派と保守派っていうのかな。考え方がまるで逆なんだよね。
坂柳。
When I saw Sakura walk off, whatever, I thought she noticed something.
平田、何か知ってるか？
Excuse me.
いや、知らないな。
単純に無人島生活が嫌になってリタイアしただけでしょ。
あいつらの顔なんて見たくないし、私はここに残る。
なんか怪しいんだよな。
須藤くん。
触らないで。
んだよその態度。俺たちに助けてもらってんだから少しくらい協力しろよ。
誰も助けてくれなんて頼んでない。
今は仲間割れしてる場合じゃないよ。
仲間？とんだお人よしね。
伊吹さん、大丈夫？
She keeps saying that how trusting can you be? She's a plant. Oh no, I don't care. She's a plant. She probably told whoever came in and stole whatever what they needed to steal.
どうしたの？
平田くん、大変なの。今朝、軽井沢さんの下着がなくなってたの。
Oh my goodness.
なんで俺たちが疑う？
そんなの決まってるでしょ。
Why don't you guys trying to
誰かが盗んだのよ。
俺たちじゃなくて、あの伊吹って女が盗んだんじゃねえのかよ。
女の子が盗むわけないでしょ。平田くん、なんとかして犯人を見つけてほしいの。
犯人って。
まずは男子全員の荷物検査を要求するわ。
無条件で男が疑われるなんて理不尽すぎるぜ。
どうした？
あ、いや。お前、まさか。なんだよ、俺を疑ってんのか。カバン見せてみろ。現行犯だな。俺じゃねえんだって。なんか勝手に入ってたんだよ。綾野講師、お前は信じてくれるよな。
状況から考えると、お前が犯人じゃないと言い切れる証拠。
So matter of factly.
池が犯人だとしたら、間抜けすぎる。
Mm-hmm.
早くしろよ。
どうしよう。マジやべえ。頑張れ。
Why would he?
は？
ないよ。やっぱり男子は犯人じゃない。
Why did he hide it?
片付けてもいいかな。
身体検査。
いい加減にしろって。
池くん、さっきから怪しくない？あいつが犯人じゃないの？
調べたきゃ調べろよ。
おい、そんな風に話を誘導したら最悪な状況だ。もはや言い逃れはできない。
I love the way he speaks.
すぐ終わらせるから。
終わったな。
He's gonna say he didn't see it. But he's gonna say he didn't see it.
綾野浩二君も持ってないね。
本当に？まあ、平田くんが言うなら。
ありがとう。
Maybe because he needs his help when it comes to Suzune. You know? And if he were to reveal that he had it.
ちょっといいか。どうして言わなかったんだ？
やっぱり下着だったんだね。
ああ。
君はそういうことをする人じゃない。もしよければ下着は僕が預かってもいいかな。
Why?
いいのか？
僕が一番ダメージが少ないよ。
Since it's the girlfriends.
一応彼氏だしね。それでってわけじゃないんだけど、綾野浩二君に犯人を探してもらいたいんだ。
俺が犯人を？
それからもし犯人が見つかったら最初に僕に教えてほしい。
それは事実を隠蔽するってことか？
隠蔽か。誰が犯人であれ、僕は事実を伏せるべきだと思ってるから、こんなことで壊したくないんだ。だから君にも協力してほしい。
Okay, let me see. 1 second. Is it that the screen? I feel like I should be in the darker room so I can see this better. What is that? I really... Oh no. Okay, clearly the person that took the thing from the bag did not take it from Suzune's bag. Okay, they took it from Ibuki's bag. And I can't tell whether it's a leader's card or not. And if it's a leader's card, then either she stole it from Suzune, but I don't know what is it? I'm about to say either she stole it from Suzune and Suzune doesn't know, and then the guy came in and took it, or... I'm saying the guy because I feel like it's a boy. I'm not totally sure, of course. Or this leader card is from class C and she stole it and kept it with her, and I don't know. So I guess that one is different from the underwear thief. Who would do that? Who in class D? I'm about to say who in class D, but it could be somebody else, like from another class that did it. It could be, since Ibuki is a girl and the girls are all under 110, maybe Ibuki is the one that stole it and put it in. I was trying to remember whether Ike and Ibuki had an interaction. I know Sudo approached her and was sort of like pissed off that she's acting all high and mighty when they helped her and everything. So I'm trying to see if Ike was not involved in that. I don't remember. Or it could be Kushida, you know, she's also sort of like demented with her self. So I don't know who's doing it. But the fact that Ike was like, first of all, when he was panicking and he's like, oh no, this is in my bag, and then one of the guys, like, they noticed it, obviously, and then the girls were far off looking at them and seeing the way he was acting, so they were being suspicious already of him. And then they were talking, the boys were talking about it, like, I didn't do it. And he turns to Ayanokoji, and Ayanokoji is like, well, I can't be sure that you didn't do it, but you won't be so careless about it. And then he's like, yeah. And then they're telling him, okay, hide your things, because at first they were just going to go through their stuff, right? So they're like, okay, hide it on yourself. And then this guy gave it to Ayanokoji, and he's like, you hide it. And I'm like, I don't know, just the way, if he was like a normal person, and then I'm basically saying that Ayanokoji is not normal, right? Like, if you're a normal person and then you are being implicated in a crime, basically, and then it's being forced upon you, and then you're just like, your voice is like, the intonation of his voice doesn't change. It's like, oh well, like, what am I gonna do with this? It's like, so, I don't know, it's just so funny to me. It is so funny to me the way he speaks, considering the situation that he's in, you know. And it's like, he doesn't care. There's no sort of like emotions in him, but like, he just says, okay, I need to deal with this. What am I gonna do? Okay, I guess I'm gonna hide it. And then he hid it, and they looked through the bags, they didn't see anything, right? And then the girls are like, no, this is suspicious. Whoever stole, like, if it's a boy that stole the underwear, then this person is a pervert, so they could hide it on themselves. So it's like, okay, we need the pat down. So they had what's his name again? The leader of class D, Hirata. So they have Hirata pat them down. And it's like, it's even Ike that sort of like egged them on into patting them down, you know. He's the one that so when Hirata came to Ayanokoji, he noticed it, and then, but he didn't say anything. I knew he wasn't gonna say anything. Like, I knew it, but in my mind, I'm thinking he didn't do it because, you know, he approached Ayanokoji at one point and asked him to help with Suzune, because in order to get to class A, they're gonna need her cooperation or help or something or other like that. So I'm thinking, okay, because he needs Ayanokoji, he's not gonna point to him and be like, okay, he's the culprit, he's gonna hide it, and he hid it. But then it's like, is it that, or is it that he just wants to keep the unity of class D, because they all need to be sort of like unified in order to move forward to class A, to reach class A? So there can't be any conflict among them. So even if he finds the culprit of the, even if he finds the culprit, he's not gonna say anything. That's why when he asked Ayano Koji to find the culprit and then tell him first, not to tell anybody else, and basically revealing that he was gonna cover it up. I'm thinking that's why he's doing it. But it's like with every student in this, not with every student, but at least with some student in this school, I feel like they're hiding something. And when it comes to Hirata, I also feel like he's hiding something as well. So I'm not 100% trusting of him and his motives, So that happened. At one point you had Ayano Koji and Suzune just going all over the place, trying to gather information on all the other classes, right? So they go to class B, Ichinose, and they're, of course, unified and everything. And then there was this one student that approached Ichinose and he's like, okay, what else can I do? And Ayano Koji and the Suzune, I don't know which one of them, was like, he seems distant. And she's like, he's from class C. And she said that they had some kind of there was some kind of problem and that's why he left them or something or other. I don't quite remember exactly what she said. But I'm like, okay. You have one student from class C in class B's camp, and then you have one student from class C in class D's camp. And then in class A and class C, they had some kind of agreement. So I can only assume that they are clients. They have been sent there to monitor things, to see what's going on, I feel like if I'm thinking that, then Anugaji must be thinking that as well. There's no way they're not there for a particular reason. Yes, Ibuki got beaten up and whatnot, but she's still a student from class C, and she keeps telling them that they are being too trusting. Because at one point, I think it was Hirata that said that they were friends. And she turned around, was walking away, and she's like, you guys are too trusting. Each time she keeps saying that, I'm like, yeah, she's there for a reason. She's a client. And then you have Ichino that also has a student from class C that's also, I'm like, yeah, it's a client. So there's that. And then they go to, well, before they did that, Ayano Koji asked Ichinose about Katsuragi. And then I was asking myself if the leader, they said her name again this episode, but the queen, whether she was participating in this test or not, because we didn't see her, and Ichinose said that she wasn't there. So Katsuragi was basically the de facto leader of class A, and that they were at opposite ends of their thinking, and that one was a reformist and the other was a conservative. I don't know which is which. So there's that. Now he asked about Sakuragi because it's Sakuragi. Yeah, Sakuragi, right? Yeah. I just said the name. It must be Katsuragi. See? I knew there was something wrong with what I said. The reason why he asked about Katsuragi is also because, first of all, he saw him with the car, right? And then, second of all, they went to their camp, right? They try to force their way into it, but Katsuragi basically threatened them and they didn't go in. So that's probably why he wanted to know more about him when he asked Ichinose. And now they go to class C. They're just out there having a party. They spent all their 300 points, S points, and they're like, yeah, they're just enjoying themselves. And it's like, even if they do any bad thing that could possibly get points deducted, they don't have any points anymore to get deducted. So it's not gonna affect them in any way, kind of shape or form. And then he kept alluding to um him and Suzune having some kind of time together, I guess. And I keep seeing Suzune rub her arm, her left arm. And like I said, I remember when they were on the deck of the ship and they were about to have their test being explained to them and things. And she said she was in her room reading or something or other like that, and she didn't get to finish it or something or other like that. But she kept rubbing her arm there. I noticed it, but I didn't say anything. And I wondered during that episode when she was rubbing her arm if she had some kind of interaction with Ryuen, right? Because he said when they were at a bar or something or other on the ship that he was gonna have some kind of he looked forward to personally something to her or something or other like that. And it was after that that she came on the ship, because they weren't seeing her, right? And I'm like, wait, did that do something to her? But then she showed up and then she was reading and then she was rubbing her arm. I saw that, but I didn't say anything. And then in this particular episode, they started talking about Ryuen and then she rubbed her arm again. And I'm like, yeah, something happened between them two that the show hasn't shown us yet. And I'm wondering what it is. Because this guy, I don't like him. He's abusive. He feels like clearly he's in control of Class C. He has some kind of master servant mentality. Like all the students from Class C are sort of like under his control. And I don't know. And then he has that bodyguard that's also there like all the time with him. So it wouldn't surprise me if he sort of like accosted her when she was alone by herself and they hurt her on her arm. And that's why she keeps rubbing it. I just don't know how far it went, but I'm 100% positive that something happened. You know. And of course Ayanogoji is observing her, but he didn't say anything. And it won't surprise me if he also suspects that something happened. And so they left Class C, and then Ichinose Ayanogoji is like, that's also, it's also a way of, I guess, making your choice when it came to this survival test, because they're saying that this survival test is all about your choice, freedom of choice. So they chose basically to sort of like, not care about this, just enjoying their summer vacation. Because after they did the thing, they could be like, okay, we're sick, we're tired, we just want to leave, and then leave and go spend the rest of the time on the boat and enjoy their vacation, like Koenji did. So that could be a way of finishing their test. But then you have the I believe one of the students from each Class B, that's like the goal of this test is to conserve the most amount of points that you possibly could. So in that sense, Class C has sort of like failed. Ryuen has failed because the next day, I believe, they went back to their spot and they weren't there. All of them were gone. And they were asking Ibuki what happened there, and she wasn't really saying anything useful. And that's where Sudo got pissed off, And then she turned around and then left. I don't know where she went. I don't know if she left the group or if she just walked off, but it's gonna be back. Like, I don't know. Now, they started this episode with a flashback of Ayano Koji and these other kids doing some kind of exam, and then this man just walked to him and be like, what did they actually said? Like, if you have power and you don't use it, you're a fool, something like that. So it's like, yeah, you know what I was saying? Let me look at the title of this episode again, because I'm like, every man has in himself the most dangerous traitor of all. every man has in himself the most dangerous traitor of all. Who is this? What is this referring to? I mean, there are clearly traitors, a whole bunch of traitors in this show. But like this particular episode, well, if whoever stole the underwear is from Class D, then that person is a traitor to Class D, right? I don't know. Let me not try to figure it out. Because it's like, yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else that happened this episode? Sakura and Yanokuji, they were just like I was just strolling through the forest, but not really. And she was saying that she at first was not excited about this trip, this test or whatever, but now she's enjoying it a little bit. And then yeah, like I was saying, when they came to where Class C was, and then Ayanokoji and the others were talking, right? Ichinose was also there, and then the other student that's usually with her, they were talking about Class C and everything, and then she just sort of like looked to the side. It felt to me that she noticed something, and then she walked off, and I'm like, but what did she notice? But nothing came off of it, so I don't know if I misread the situation or if she actually did see something but didn't really say anything that particular moment, but she will later on to Yanokoji. I don't know, but I guess we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to all my previous Classroom of the Elite episodes, the playlist to those reactions is in the pinned comments. You can just click on it and you can watch it right now. And you can also consider supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/Telemini. Or you can see all my early access to all the animes that I'm currently reacting to and the full lengths of those reactions as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Why you leave me alone, baby? I'm still